Wednesday afternoon, and you know what that means. Ringside Heat is on the air on News Talk Saga 960 AM, your favorite podcatcher, as well as on YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Lex Tan, host and producer of the show. Welcome to another hour of Wrestling Talk Radio here on the AM airwaves on Saga 960 AM. And, it is a big show again. All of our shows are big shows. So, but then again, it is the big show because one of the big shows this coming Saturday, it's going to be the Royal Rumble, and it is, of course, a lot of our favorite pay-per-views of the year, including Colin Dodge, who is
my favorite pay-per-view.
That is right, his favorite pay-per-view of the year. So since I've introduced you first, Colin, we're going to introduce you first, and we're going to continue by promoting your new podcast over here. Follow him at Risen72, but tell us about your new podcast, Colin.
Yeah, a little passion project of mine. Get out of my comfort zone and do something I've been talking about for quite a long time. I went and released a podcast solely about Godzilla because I like to keep on top of the mainstream. I know what the kids are watching all the time, and I say it's Godzilla. So my podcast, I simply celebrate 7 decades of everybody's favorite kaiju. And I'm going through movie by movie. In the digital age that is now upon us, there isn't going to be DVD extras anymore, so we're going to have to turn to my podcast about Godzilla for interesting little behind-the-scenes facts and fun little things that you should be paying attention to when you watch these classic movies. Again, I've got 7 decades of movies to get through, so the last Sunday of every month, you'll be able to go check it out, KanjiraCast. You can find it on Apple and Spotify, and the first episode is actually out already. So go check it out. Reach out to @KanjiraCast on Twitter, Instagram, and Threads. Let me know what you think. Godzilla and all that good stuff. And then I also opened my 2025 campaign for Extra Life. So that has started. And you'll also see a video that Jose and I made where I made very stupid promises on the internet on our last pay-per-view reaction stream. And Jose making sure I keep up to them. So we made a video explaining, go check all that out on Risen72. And I have a lot of social media stuff now, and it's freaking me out. I'm middle-aged. I shouldn't be doing this kind of thing, but here we are. There we go. That's it. I had a busy week. There we go. Enough about me. Back, Rumble.
Now here's a question over here. What movie was it where they were parodying kind of Godzilla? It was like, oh, it's Godzilla, or we should run and hide as if it was Godzilla.
Oh my God, Austin Powers Goldmember.
That's it. There you go.
So that would have been that. I was going to say, that's a lot of decades of making fun of Godzilla, so you got to narrow it down a little bit.
We have Colin promoting such like a special thing about him. What do you do? The first thing you bring up is a parody of the whole thing. Very nice. Well done.
At least it was a parody done by a Canadian. It's okay. We'll let it slide this time.
And a Scarborough boy, nonetheless.
Exactly.
Anyway, and the reason why I posed that question to the group over here is because I wanted to see which one of you, Jose or Chico, would chime in first. So let's introduce Jose first. That's a Blood 93 director of digital content, who answered that question correctly. Jose, welcome back.
It's good to be back, and it's one of my favorite shows of the year. I'm so eager to talk about the Royal Rumble. The road to WrestleMania is upon us once again, and I'm ready for another fun-filled couple of months of just madness leading up to the big show in Vegas. But no, I'm excited. It's Rumble. It's one of our favorite times of the year on Ringside Heat, and I cannot wait to just dive into it. Maybe go into the rules for those that have no idea what the heck a Royal Rumble is. I'm excited. So let's just get talking about the Rumble because we have a lot to discuss. It may be only 4 matches, but there is a ton to talk about because I think everybody can agree. We have no idea, at least this time around, where on earth the road to WrestleMania will lead us to. There's a lot of avenues. So I'm ready. I'm excited.
Awesome. And then as well, we also have our wrestling memorabilia expert at Coco Collects, Chico Nugent, who has been forwarding me some AI dancing action figures that he's been experimenting with. So Chico, how are you getting these AI things? I'd like to know.
Well, first of all, I don't know where that came from, but I will say that support graphic artists out there on the internet who are real people that do actual work. Anyways, the Royal Rumble is exciting. So I'm very excited for it. A lot of unpredictable outcomes, but that's part of the fun of the Royal Rumble.
Yes, that is. And as we mentioned, Royal Rumble this coming Saturday in Indianapolis. That is, I believe, the hometown of what's his face, Mr. Pat McAfee.
It's
Uh, at
it's
least
it's
what
it,
What is
it,
this?
it's
I'll,
not his
I'll,
hometown, but it is where he's played most of his years in the NFL as a punter for the Indianapolis Colts, which of course it's at Lucas Oil Stadium where the Colts play. So yes, I mean I'm not sure where exactly McAfee is from, but it basically is his second home. So it is in a sense a homecoming for McAfee this
So
Saturday.
what you're saying is for Pat McAfee, he has a cult following.
This is why I want to talk straight into the Royal Rumble, folks. Like I said, there was a lot to discuss with the
yeah.
Royal Rumble.
Whatever McAfee's number was, that's what he enters in at the Rumble.
Number
Oh,
one?
wow.
Is that,
Was
is
he
that what his
number
number was?
one?
I have no idea. Is that what
He
it
was
is?
number one.
There you go.
Or number one.
That's my first prediction. All right.
Oh,
Oh,
my
boy.
god.
Well,
And
and
then-
then,
and then-
in
and
that
then-
case,
and
my
then-
next prediction. In that case, my next prediction is that he will not be the one to go through the entire Royal Rumble from number one.
No,
No.
I already have him in the main event of night one of WrestleMania. Don't forget, it's headset on a pole match versus Corey Graves. So he's already busy at Mania. He doesn't need to win the Rumble.
It's set on a
Oh,
pole. Oh
goodness.
boy.
Yeah,
jeez.
I already mapped this out for Triple H last time. We got that figured out already. Night one is locked.
Yeah,
And
where's
what's that-
Judy Bagwell when you need her?
Oh jeez.
Well-
Speaking of which, we are gonna bring in a fifth voice here, and his name is John Dawson.
Well, how
He
did
is
Judy
our-
Bagwell remind you of John Dawson? What is
Well,
Well,
wrong
because
with
he's
you?
friends with Vince Russo.
Yeah, Vince is a good guy.
Yes, he is. Welcome back, John. It's been a while since we've heard from you on the show.
Was I not here last week?
No.
No, you weren't.
No.
It was
Oh,
just
there you go.
Chico, Lex, and I.
I lose track of it. All right, nice to be back.
And
Hi, John.
make sure that you are listening to Outlier, his new album that's out on everywhere that you stream music, as well as buying it on iTunes, buying the actual physical copy of the album, which is available at johndawsonmusic.myshopify.com, 180-gram vinyl, and as well, he is the songwriter of a new single called "Under All the Lights," which is a ballad dedicated to Cody and Brandy Rhodes, glad to have five of the six ring crew here to talk Royal Rumble. We're going to start off with the over here, as it's been announced, at least the two championship matches that are not the Rumbles: the undisputed WWE Championship between Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens, ladder match; WWE Tag Team Championships, DIY Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa versus the Motor City Machine Guns, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin, in a 2 out of 3 falls match. Where do you guys want to start?
Start with the 2 out of 3 falls, because obviously there's going to be a lot to dissect with Cody. But it's just funny because Chico was bringing up in our group, should we expect 5 matches? But I mean, last year's Royal Rumble only had 4 matches. And I think that's a good number because those Rumbles feel like 4 matches in one, essentially, on a pay-per-view. But I think if you, I know a lot of people it always amazes me because a lot of people complain about the card of a Royal Rumble. It's like, why is there so little? Why is there not more? And again, it's like people forget that these Rumbles go 50 to 60 minutes, right?
There's 2 of them now. Yeah.
So and there's double. And again, like at the time of this recording, for example, it's the anniversary of me going to Philadelphia for the Royal Rumble in 2018, where the first women's Royal Rumble, Asuka's big win, Ronda Rousey's debut, et cetera. But even then being live, that felt like a long night. I think there were 3 matches aside from the Rumbles, and again, that felt long because the second Rumble plays such a big role. So 4 matches is fine. And when it comes to picking that 4th match, what a great option. It's you have 2 out of 3 falls, which you have a little wiggle room to grow, so you can kind of fit your 3 to 4 hour pay-per-views. And Motor City Machine Guns has been great since they debuted on the main roster. The DIY heel turn has been a fantastic touch. I do think DIY retains, but I think these 4 can definitely put on a show, and I know Gargano's no stranger to 2 out of 3 falls matches. So I think this is the right core group, and I think this is the right championship to highlight because Saturday night's main event, I think, helped alleviate what we could be quote unquote potentially missing out this Saturday at the Rumble.
I'm more excited about the new word you debuted, which is debuted.
I wasn't
Yeah, I
gonna
messed
say
that
it,
one up.
John.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
I
one's
messed that
that
one up.
one's
That's
that
on me.
one's fun.
Teacher.
That's on me.
He's-
No,
he's
I'm
just in
I'm
his
writing
bag.
report cards, man. I'm assessing right now.
He's in his
so,
bag. He's in his bag, as they say.
yeah.
You're down to a B.
No, let's go with
already,
that.
Jose.
Let's
Yeah.
go with that. Let's call it debuted. Okay.
Oh my gosh! Well, he's
Wow.
grading you on the spot. I will say the Rumble that Jose mentioned. I think not only did Asuka win, but Shinsuke Nakamura won the men's
did.
Rumble that year.
Yes,
so
he
that was
did.
like a double
He did.
Japanese win, which is
it
kind
was
of a fun thing to watch.
it was a great surprise to all of us, especially when he eliminated Roman. We were like, they're
Yeah.
actually going to lose to Nakamura because we didn't think Roman was going to win it.
Yeah.
So once we saw Nakamura in position, we're like, this is special. So it was a special. Unfortunately, those wins surmounted to nothing at that WrestleMania, but
Yeah,
still a
that's right.
very cool moment to be a
Asuka
part
shoulda
of
won.
for both. Yeah.
What do you mean? It led to the proliferation of Japanese low blows.
Yes. Very much. Very much so.
Yeah, that's what you want to hang your hat on.
Yeah,
what I said.
exactly.
Yeah, I know, right?
I expect the DIY Motor City Machine Guns thing to be pretty impressive. I don't really see any way it won't be.
Show stealing, maybe.
Potentially. You've got four pretty, as Stone Cold might say, good hands. In that they're good hands.
Yeah, I just don't want to
and,
say what, but anyway.
Oh, what? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, there. No, that's
you fell
that's. Listen, you're talking about the 2 out of 3 falls. I believe you're referring to the Adam Cole 3 Stages of Hell match,
Which
which
I
I
was
was
also a part
at.
of.
I
Yeah.
was there with my son. It was his first NXT event, and JP, and yeah, man, that was
It was great. Only
That was
Kyle
something.
Kyle Dubas separated me from the stanchion and the wrestlers that you talked about. So that was a very fun night.
yeah, that was great.
Mhm.
So it'll be something to behold, I'm sure. I hope it's show stealing. I think DIY deserves that.
Oh yeah.
They're a tricky one for me. We were there. I think we were all there when they won. Yeah, it was the night of Money in the Bank, right? The SmackDown of Money in the Bank. Most of us were there
Yep.
when
Mhm.
they won the titles, and I was there the year before. I think when Johnny made his Raw debut.
I was there as well.
I have a real soft spot for that guy, man, and Ciampa. I mean, their NXT rivalry was chef's kiss.
Oh yeah.
And I really just want to see those guys do well. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what else to say beyond that. I just really hope this is exactly what I think it could be.
Mm-hmm. And on top of that as well, I mean, like Motor City Machine Guns, as you guys have mentioned, have done a real great job in their debut here in WWE. But I mean, they've been impressive ever since for all those years that they spent in TNA. And I'm glad personally, as I have talked to Alex Shelley himself, and you could actually listen to that interview on our YouTube page and our Spotify as well. I'm just so happy to see not just Gargano and Ciampa where they are right now in the main roster, but then Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin going to be doing just the amazing stuff that they've done in TNA, but bringing it to the biggest stage of them all here in over in WWE. And I know those guys are going to be just amazing. They're going to kill it.
Let me go back one further. I saw Sabian and Scorpio Sci. Were they SoCal U and ROH?
Mm-hmm.
I saw them at the Mattamy Center.
Oh wow!
We were like second row ringside or something like that. I was
Love
there with
that.
Steve Piccone.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I've been a fan of Sabian for some time.
Was that an ROH New Japan show?
Yeah, there's a pay-per-view.
Yeah,
I was also there. I'm pretty sure I was.
Very cool.
But
Right
I mean,
on.
not.
Cool.
I was in the standing room at the top there, but I'm pretty sure that's the only show that they've done there, and I've been there.
No, they've
so
done a
I'm-
couple, but that
maybe
one,
not. But I don't. I can't remember which one was that. But I know I did.
I think that was the only pay-per-view they did there. Like that was like a combo. If I remember correctly, it was like a combo.
I want to say I was there. I can't remember, but I know I've attended an ROH show there.
Yeah,
in that-
I
in
saw the
that
Briscoe
arena.
brothers there actually. Again, like second row ringside. Oh my god! And dude, this is a bit of a tangent, but Jay Briscoe came out and just sat in the wing, just stood and sat. He stood in the wings, just watching the other matches. I went up to him and talked to him. He's just sitting there. All the guys are going to get pizza, grab a beer. Like, it's such a cool, chill vibe at Mattamy. Anytime there's a show there, like, go. Like, it, it's just such a cool experience. It's those guys come out and they just watch their buddies. It's like it's going to an indie show, but you're seeing, like, these guys. Anyways,
and the amount of wrestling history that's happened over there at Maple Leaf Gardens, it's great to just be the fact that you actually attended wrestling at Maple Leaf Gardens.
And my son met John Gresham there. I got a picture with him and everything.
Were they the same height?
Pretty close. Yeah. yeah. He only had a couple inches on him. Yeah. And he was 7. And he was 7.
Thank you for confirming.
I just want to bring it back to what John said about Gargano, because when he said the 2 out of 3 falls, funny enough, I wasn't thinking about that 2 out of 3 falls match. I was thinking about the other one that was at. It's just bragging where I've been.
This is what all of us have been doing.
NXT Takeover 2019, a couple nights before WrestleMania 35. Gargano also did a 2 out of 3 falls match that night against Adam Cole as well. So I the reason why I said, like, Gargano's such a good person for the 2 out of 3 falls, because he's done a bunch 2 out of 3 falls in NXT. So that's why, like, it's a good spot. It's a good spot to bring it all home.
That guy should be huge, man. I don't. That guy should just be huge. I don't really know any other way to say it. Like, he should just be huge. I'm such a huge fan of Johnny Gargano, and come on, man, Ciampa coming out to no theme music, just crowd boos in NXT was just brilliant. And seeing DIY. I mean, we were there when they broke up. I think Steve and I at the NXT at the, or at least the beginning of it. Real soft spot for DIY. So, I don't know. I got high hopes for that one. That is probably something other than the Royal Rumble itself, but that I'm looking forward to, like, huge.
Ringside Heat on News Talk Saga 960 AM. We're going to take a first break here, but when we come back, we'll talk about the undisputed WWE Championship match with Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens. But we also are in our Royal Rumble discussion. We have a big surprise over here. At least Colin wants to surprise us big with his predictions about the next year, this 2025, the rest of the year, for one John Cena, the man you cannot see. And we will see you back here in a sec after these promotional considerations.
Turn the dial.
Under all the lights, with only everyone, he's looking for one single face.
And welcome back to Ringside Heat, a News Talk Saga 960 AM. Lextan at Lextan Media, Ringside Heat at Ringside_Heat, alongside Jose Tabuada at Tabuada93, Colin at Risen72, and as well at KenjiraCast, Chico Nugget at Coca Collects, and John Dawson at John Dawson Music. And gentlemen, let's start off this next segment here with talking about the undisputed WWE Championship match between Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens in a ladder match. And of course, these two are just great performers, as they are already. Add the championships, add the Winged Eagle title, add ladders, and it's just going to be one heck of a show that these two are going to put on, in my mind. And there's a part of me that wants to see Kevin Owens actually take the title, even though I don't think that'll happen. What do you guys think?
No. Thanks for coming, Kevin.
How dare you?
That's the look. I do want it. I think it would be a nice pivot, and I think one of WWE's biggest issues in the last few years is, being too reliant on those big names, being too reliant on long reigns, and being too reliant on wanting to have big moments at WrestleMania and not kind of like surprising us throughout the year. Like example, when Cody lost at WrestleMania 39, all of us said, well, we're going to see it happen at WrestleMania 40. Roman holds on to the title for a year. And then obviously with Cody beating Roman, we're all saying, well, Cody needs to look credible. He can't just lose it after a short period of time, after the long reign that just came through. So that's really the factor to kind of hones into it. But honestly, I feel like in the last few weeks, especially after this past Monday night on Raw, that thought is less and less, and kind of thinking, no, Cody is 100% the guy to take us to the main event of WrestleMania 41. Because again, I still think he's a great champion. I think there's too much scrutiny over the booking that he got, which is not his fault. And fans are too quick to turn on him. I've said this thousands of times over the weeks on Ringside Heat, but Cody's 100% the dude to hold on to that and take it to Vegas. There's no doubt in my mind. I don't see, when you compare, I don't know if this is the take, when you compare Cody and Kevin on compelling opponents on that big of a stage, there's more options for Cody than there is for Kevin Owens.
Yeah. No,
There's no doubt in my mind. Again, I'm not discrediting Kevin Owens at all, but you saw Cody and Punk close Monday Night Raw, the go-home show, again in back-to-back years. That's intriguing. And my Rumble pick, which I can say early on, I think is really enticing to take on Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. And that's John Cena, which we'll talk deeper when we get later on in the show. I love Kevin. I really do. I think the heel work has been fantastic in the last few months since that Saturday night's main event. But I'm sorry, once again, like it happens in the last four of the last five Rumbles, wrong time for Kevin Owens. And it's hilarious that it's always the wrong time at the Royal Rumble for Kevin Owens. It's just sad, but it's true.
But here's the thing: I don't think that like I've agreed with most of what you're saying. I just think that the booking for Cody Rhodes isn't as bad as maybe it's being made out to be by some fans, and it's the fact that, like, he's still a credible champion, or that he's consistently been a credible champion, and he has consistently had big pops every time he comes out, and still is the face of the show, and the face of the company, really, at this point. That shows to me that, like, people will scrutinize and people will compare him to Roman, but the booking has not been bad when it comes to Cody Rhodes. I think he's been booked well, personally.
Yeah,
Could
no,
be
it's
booked
just
better.
I know what Jose's talking about, though. There is a large contingent of online sentiment about the lackadaisical booking for Cody, but I agree with you, Lex Tan, that it has been very good. And I mean, you can't strike as much gold as you did with Roman. Each champ is going to be different, right? Reigns are going to be different. Pardon the pun, didn't mean but Roman's last name there. But I think Cody has been in some really good feuds. Really, really good feuds, and including this one. Now, it's been so good that they have me believing that Kevin Owens has a chance of winning. But, I kind of came down to earth a couple of days ago, realizing, the stuff that Jose's been preaching, he is right about this. And you need a credible build to be part of the legacy of a great champion. So Cody continues to be a great champion, and this is part of that. He will, Jose, I've pivoted from what I've said in the thread and stuff. Cody will definitely win. This is definitely, that's the result that's got to happen. Kevin Owens can also do plenty without a title. That's very compelling. He's doing it right now. So I think that we're in for a Cody win, but I think Kevin's going to make it convincing that it could possibly happen for him. Yeah, it might get close, but it's going to be a fun match.
Probably.
John.
I don't really see any good reason to put it on KO right now, given where everything seems to be going. Not now. The whole idea of moving the title around, doing all that, I think post Cody, and I think I've felt this for a while, that Cody can set up a different kind of champion. But in this moment, coming out of 40, there's just still some hangover. There's still some work to be done. It's just too soon. It just feels too soon.
Mm-hmm.
But when that time comes, after, post 41, 100%, move it around to KO, move it around anywhere. But to do it now would just be, it would feel weird.
Yeah.
And I don't think anybody feels bad about that. I don't imagine KO thinks by any metric he's going over at the Rumble. He's been this brilliant placeholder is sounds unkind, but it ostensibly has been. But he's done it beautifully. The shirt game is absolutely on point.
Agreed. Love the trolling.
Everything about the trolling he's doing, great word, Chico. Everything about it is just perfect. He's serving his role, and the dividends will pay.
Mm-hmm.
Like 100%. Like this guy's gonna punch his ticket at some point, but I don't see any reason to make it the Royal Rumble.
Colin.
I can't speak to the booking because I've only just started watching again. So my opinion has nothing to do with booking. I have no idea. But I think Cody is more interesting chasing the belt than having it.
Sure.
A lot of
So
people say that too.
based on that and how Kevin Owens can make any of his rivalries interesting because that's how good he is and how entertaining he is. He has done more with his shirts than any of Cody's promos, in my estimation.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Okay.
You're not wrong.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
I think if you want to break the predictability of WWE, then Kevin goes over, gets the belt, but then loses it again to Cody at WrestleMania.
Interesting.
I'm
Because
not completely opposed.
I only say that because I think Kevin, because he's done it way too much, can survive the loss better than Cody can.
I just don't know if KO Cody is the draw in Vegas.
That's-
I don't
that-
see that.
We'll see
I-
later what Jose wants. That guy's going to be busy with somebody else when I go through my predictions.
No.
Colin, oh my God, Colin.
Oh, what a tease! What a tease! Which leads us into our talk about the Royal Rumble matches, and I guess what we're gonna have to do for now, as we want to get to the John Cena, the year of John Cena, as according to Colin Dodge, and what our predictions for the Rumbles are. But let's start off with the women. Right now, as of this recording, we have Nia Jax, Bayley, Charlotte Flair, Naomi, Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Lyra Valkyria, Ivy, Nile, Io Sky, and 20, and then those are the 10 that have been announced, and 20 others to be announced. But Ric Flair's daughter, Charlotte, will be making her first appearance nearly a year after recovering from surgery. So there you go.
More than a year. More than a
a
year.
Can I say something about this women's Royal Rumble? My youngest son is going to pop bigger for the women's Royal Rumble than he might for the men's. I have not met, and I said this to Chelsea Green, not trying to do this, but I have to, because I thank Chelsea Green personally, because she is one of the reasons that my son looks at women's wrestling. There is no difference.
Mm-hmm.
And that list of names, he will pop huge for. I am so proud of that women's division on so many levels. They have done amazing things. And I think that's going to be a great match.
Mm-hmm.
Like that whole thing, that whole Rumble is going to be beautiful.
Nice. That's good to hear
Agreed.
because I haven't been watching, so I'm glad they're doing that good.
Oh my
Anxious to
God,
start watching.
no, they're
It's very
brilliant.
good.
They're brilliant.
I do agree. I think the women's rumble is going to be fun, but I also want to take this time to congratulate Charlotte Flair on winning her second Royal Rumble. And,
Yep, with you there.
I guess I think
Yeah.
it'll be fun in terms of like surprises and appearances, but
Yeah.
I don't think you hype up an event. I don't think you hype up a return this big. And before anybody says where are the surprises, Undertaker, 2002 Royal Rumble. That's all I need to say because he got a ton of vignettes leading up to that Royal Rumble. Now, did everybody think he was going to come back as a dead man? Yeah. Did it happen? No. The bite came out, but that's okay.
Yeah.
It's and look, I don't think Tiffy is a champion like by accident. I guess in that sense, I'm pretty sure I feel like when Tiffy won that briefcase back in July, they were ready. They had this like set in motion. Like this is going to be what we're
most
going to
likely.
see in Vegas.
Yeah.
Charlotte is going to be healed up by then.
Yeah.
The Rumble's a perfect time to welcome her back. I'm for it. I think it'd be great. Plus, the Rumble has yet to have a repeat winner. So I think Charlotte probably would be the more appropriate and should be the first and appropriate two-time Women's Royal Rumble winner. I don't see anybody else.
Yep.
I don't even see anybody else. I presume Rhea's.
And I have no problem with that.
I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a welcome home for Charlotte. I don't see Rhea's contender winning it, whoever that may be. I'm sure it's gonna be settled at the Chamber next month in Toronto. But yeah, I'm going with Charlotte. I think it's gonna be fun to see surprises. I would also hope that we get a lot more NXT. Sorry, not NXT. Well, NXT, but TNA.
Oh yeah,
surprises.
Jordan
with
Grace, yeah,
who's just became recently signed with WWE.
Yeah.
I'm predicting Masha Slamovich, the current Knockouts champion. I feel like they've been showcasing the Knockouts champions in recent years. That'd be a great time to introduce somebody new to the community, to the fan base.
And the fact that Cora Jade is having a match with her as well this coming Thursday on Impact Wrestling, that's already putting a lot of shine on that women's division there in TNA.
Yeah.
So
right in.
And yeah, it's gonna they're gonna come back and you're gonna see. I think they're gonna see Cora Jade and Masha Slamovich at up against each other at the Rumble for sure.
To add to what you're saying, Jose, I think you should bring Charlotte in at number 1.
Ooh.
I hope not.
You don't think so?
Now here's what I'm.
Because
Hold on.
Rhea's done it already.
That's true.
And I don't
that's
know,
fair.
I don't know
That's
if I
fair.
want to see that again. And I think there's been a
27?
27, 30. Yeah.
27.
Go wrong with 27.
Yeah, I was
Never
gonna say.
wrong with 27.
To game it out a little bit, I know we're not going this far, but I'm just going to quickly insert this point. Yes, Charlotte Flair to win the Women's Rumble, and she's going to get a pop because people miss her, but I think the way they're doing the vignettes starts to plant the seed of a heel, because very unrelatable, extravagantly rich,
well,
like
her
that
dad.
kind of thing. So yeah, no, but even more because Rick never had that big a yacht. He never got into
Inflation.
Yeah, jets.
But anyway, so I think Charlotte will not only win, I think she should come in late because it builds the heel part of it, and I think she even beats Tiffy at Mania, only to put her over at the 2-night Mega SummerSlam. I think that's where we're going.
And
And
even got
balloons apparently
balloons,
went on their screen too. So
Zoom agrees, yeah.
Is it
Not the
peace
worst
sign
idea.
that's not?
I would I think in that situation I kind of hope that Tiffy retains. Again, the question of how long do we want reigns, right? Like how long should champions hold their titles for? But but not the worst. But I think I would prefer Tiffy to hold on in a situation. But regardless, again, I think the tease of Charlotte or the opportunity of Charlotte and Tiffany is right there. I don't think you take that away. And if I had to make a prediction, I think Charlotte enters middle of the pack, 15, 16. I think, let her show that she still got it, get that ring rust out of the way, let her go for an extended period of time, take the Rumble.
See, but nobody doubts that though. So
No.
I mean, I don't think anybody doubts that. But I
listen-
think it'd be way better for her heel cred to do it like close to the end.
Yeah,
But that's
nobody
just-
comes out at 15, and then they just have to move on to number 16. And then when it's down to the final 2, then Charlotte finally comes out and then just cleans up.
Oh boy.
Tiffy and Charlotte's gonna be that's good. That's a David and Goliath story if I've ever seen one.
Yeah,
man.
I think
Those
it's too good.
those are
to
two
not have.
physically like there's the Charlotte's tall.
I think they're a lot closer than that.
Dude, no. We saw Tiffy at the media event. Not even close.
The one thing I was gonna say just before we move on, that I hope that the takeaways aside from the winners is how strong this partnership with TNA is. I think this partnership is so important for both companies. I think more TNA than WWE, to be honest with you. But
of course,
it's good for WWE too.
It is. But I mean, again, considering they were once rivals 20 years ago, it's kind of funny where we are now, right? With this partnership, that was the WWE AEW rivalry back in the day. But
if you could even call it a rivalry, but still,
Sure.
okay, sure.
Yeah, it was never a rivalry. People wanted it to be a rivalry. It never was.
But the point is, I think that I hope that the takeaway is that TNA has shown really well. That press release stated how they want to be featured a lot in premium live events, and what better way to start than the Royal Rumble.
And before we go to break here, just gonna go around the horn really quickly. If Charlotte is the prediction to win the Royal Rumble, who does she face? Real quickly, does she face Tiffany? Does she face who does she face?
Tiffy time.
We also
I
have
think
Tiffany, right?
Tiffy.
Yeah,
Tiffy?
Tiffany. Sure.
All righty then.
Oh,
All right, there it
Unanimous.
is. There it
That's
is.
fun.
If Charlotte wins, Tiffy it is. Anyway,
great.
we'll be back after these rules considerations, and we're going to talk about the men's rumble. And I know we've been teasing it all show, but Colin is going to talk about his the year of John Cena, according to Colin. Ringside Heat on News Talk Saga 960 AM.
John, you said change the dial?
Under all the lights, with only everyone. He's looking for one single face.
And welcome back to Ringside Heat on News Talk Saga 960 AM. Lex Tan with Jose Tabuada, Colin Dodge, Chico Nougat, and John Dawson. Royal Rumble predictions and Royal Rumble preview. And Colin, we finally get to it. I want to know. What is your year for John Cena, according to you? And we're going to tie this in with the men's Rumble.
Look at that. He's leaving already. Yeah. So a little behind the scenes, everyone's panicked during the break about what exactly I'm going to say. First of all, everybody relax. Because I'm saying it, it means it'll never happen because it's too good and I'll have spoiled it all. So they can't do it anyway. So everybody calm down. Stop wiping your eyes. Don't cry yet. It's going to be fine.
Crying.
Yeah. No, I know. It's fine. It's fine.
God
Anyway,
almighty.
we're going to start off strong. Okay, we're going to start off. I'm agreeing with Jose. That's how we're starting off. Cena wins the Rumble.
Hey, pig flu.
Of course. Of course, Cena wins the Rumble. The next night on Raw, we do the whole thing. All of the champions come out to the ring. Who's Cena going to pick? He picks Joe Hendry. That's what happens. All right.
Bye.
There, I'm
Hold
sorry.
on. No, everybody sit down. Everybody
For
sit
those
down.
of you who are not watching or who are listening on the radio or podcast, Jose has just lifted up himself out of the seat. John Dawson has turned off his camera.
I'm
And
not
I
done
inserted
yet.
a bad word.
I'm not done yet. Don't worry. So, as we know, we already got night one booked. It's, headset on a pole match between Graves and and McAfee. So we've got that figured out. So night two, it's going to be Cena versus Hendry. I'm going to tick off a lot of boxes here. So Cena's going to get his 17th win. And he's also going to get his heel turn because to protect the sanctity of TNA, the Nemeth brothers are going to come down to the ring to make sure that Cena doesn't win. But oh no, they screw up and actually knock out Hendry by accident.
Wow.
Cena goes heel by taking the opportunity and getting the win and getting his 17th world title. So then he starts.
Oh my God.
This is where it gets good now. Now it's going to get blasphemous, all right?
Wow.
Cena will now start his new faction with the Nemeth brothers, and why not? Jordan Grace, fellow bodybuilder. They will become the new Nexus.
Oh my God.
Good Lord.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Talk about
And
that.
so then it's going to be the summer of Cena and New Nexus. They're going to destroy Penta. They're going to destroy Drew and Punk. And they're going to destroy Solo's bloodline,
Okay.
making an example, especially out of Jacob Fatu.
Yeah.
God.
Now-
Take all the Rock's movie roles. Keep going.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, he can't do worse.
Fast and Furious
so-
11. Whatever.
Then it all ends because Jacob Fatu returns with a vengeance, destroys Cena, destroys the new Nexus with his bloodline. Because let's face it, Solo's out. He's not doing anything. Jacob Fatu runs everything now, according to the bloodline. And he will retire Cena with his new bloodline and become the new TNA champion.
Okay. So that
Jeez.
took 3.5 minutes. I'll never get that back.
Me neither.
Exactly. Yeah.
So,
I told you,
when
it's too good. It's not going to happen.
No,
Y'all don't have to worry about anything.
Too good is
Alright.
a
Sure
when it
won't.
comes to the
very
Royal
strong.
Rumble,
Triple H, I just did your job for you. There you go, buddy.
when it comes to the
Oh
Royal
my
Rumble, fellas, you have to eliminate your opponent, throw him over the top rope, both feet hit the floor, in case you didn't know the rules.
We could probably eliminate Colin's predictions as well over the top rope, if you don't mind, Jose.
Probably.
They're
and
not
also-
brave enough to
How-
do my
would
to
it
do my
be
booking.
hilarious?
That's all it is.
Yes. Absolutely. But
Yeah.
bro,
That
you
said,
need a hobby.
look,
I have one. I released a podcast. It's at Ken Juracast. Go check it
okay.
out.
Well, do 2 podcasts.
I've
Get
been
away
okay.
from-
So I've been kind of like back and forth with this decision because I do want to pick Cena to win the Royal Rumble because I think Cody versus Cena at WrestleMania would be one heck of a draw. I
Yep.
think
Mhm.
I think I don't think Cena can Cena as of late in the last few years has always wanted to take the back seat. Always wanted to let talent go over. He did never want to be put in the spotlight. Obviously, I think maybe intentionally or not, threw that out the window with announcing his retirement year. I don't think Cena does his retirement year without doing something big. And obviously, in Cena's last year, one more WrestleMania main event would be pretty special. I believe that would be his what, seventh, ninth, maybe more. It could be. It depends where I'm not. I have to count that. I'm the WrestleMania guy. I should have made that stat. Um,
That's gonna
no,
say.
I don't. I think the opportunity to have seen in that main event is you can't pass it up.
I think,
You can't
yeah.
pass it up.
I think even in all seriousness, Colin, I love everything you said. It actually is hilarious. But in
Mhm.
all seriousness, I heard
I was
somewhere. Okay, yeah, no, you were not. But the idea, I think The Rock's even said something to the effect that he's recognizing this Cena moment, and he's even willing to sort of pull back. I can't source that. It was just something I read. I want to believe it's true, that this moment for Cena really is what it is. It's the victory lap, and this is his time to do that thing, that last thing. So Cody Cena, Vegas, yeah, sure. You know, Rock Roman. I think Jacob Fatu had his
Mhm.
WrestleMania 13 moment at Saturday night's main event, and I think that guy's just inserted himself into the mix in a very, very unique way.
Yes.
There's going to be some really interesting stories being told, but Cena Cody sounds about right to me.
Mhm.
The Punk thing is interesting. I mean,
I
we
was
could
gonna
get
bring
a
that up.
triple threat. We could get a triple threat there. I
Mm,
don't know.
I would love that. I would
it would
I
be
mean,
100%
fun.
it would be
love
Make it
that.
more interesting.
it would track,
Um,
right? Like with all of their history.
and I mean, I think what also makes it unique, I think that's where I would give Punk the Rumble. And a friend of mine brought up the stat to me. 5 of the last 10 men's Royal Rumble winners have been repeats. They've
Hmm.
been second. They ended up being their two, like they got a second Rumble win. Cena winning would put him beside Austin as the only two individuals with 3 Royal Rumble wins.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, that sounds it sounds very attractive on paper to say that, but I think I think John may be honest. I think a Punk win to Casino was also like kind of like honing in on the oh, I haven't won a match and so and so.
But Cena could do Elimination Chamber.
I was gonna
Yeah.
get there. Like if
Mhm.
Punk wins the Rumble, Cena could be like, oh my goodness, how am I gonna get to WrestleMania?
And
What can
that
I
would make
do?
a lot of
Put him in the
sense.
chamber.
Yeah.
It would make a ton of sense. And then
Mhm.
we flip a coin backstage for Gunther's opponent at this rate. Like just okay, yeah,
No,
or throw a dart. Congratulations.
got a question. Got a question for you guys though. In terms, you mentioned Punk. For me, I don't have him winning the Rumble or the Chamber. And but do they
Punk?
pull the trigger on the favor this quickly, or do we save that?
That's an interesting one. I don't know. It depends on where I think Roman is in this picture. That's a really interesting question,
Yeah,
Chico. I thought
because
the same
I kind
thing.
of don't see him. I don't see him winning Rumble or Chamber just because they inserted the favor into the
But
storyline.
I feel like that favor could play out later.
It could.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure that's essential right now.
Still could be. I don't know.
It could be, but I think a Punk Rumble win and a Cena Chamber win, that that sets the table pretty nicely, and puts
I
Cody on the back foot a bit, which is where we like him.
Mhm.
You know,
I am worried that instead we
I think
pivot to
so. Am I
Punk.
wrong? Like we like it
No,
when
not
he's a
wrong at
little
all.
bit, you know.
Not wrong at all, but I am worried that instead, because I forgot about that thing, I think it is generally I feel like most likely it's going to be Punk and Roman because of that favor at WrestleMania.
Okay.
And I think as well because of how elusive that match sounds, that's your night one main event. And
Mhm.
Okay.
Punk gets his long awaited moment on the big stage.
And that's one of the reasons why, if we're gonna go with Punk and Roman at WrestleMania, then Punk will not win the. I'm not gonna see Punk winning the Rumble.
No,
So then what?
exactly. That's why I'm
Okay,
picking
so that
Cena.
goes back to Cena, but then what happens at Chamber?
We play
Who
Ring Around the
knows?
Rosie around the entire chamber, and
Yeah.
you know, a person that doesn't fall wins.
But no, has it?
Oh,
Not,
my
it
idea.
has impacted in the last.
Back to Colin.
You get 6 months out of mine. That's all I'm saying.
I presume that the chamber is going to be for Gunther's
Oh,
Gunther's
yeah,
title.
okay,
I don't
sure,
like
yeah.
because again
And that there's precedent for that. Yeah.
yeah.
You mean for the
or
actual title, like the match itself,
to the
Or at
number
least
one
or for a
contender?
contender?
Yeah.
I mean,
I
it
was
could
gonna say
be.
number one- I was
It
gonna
could
say
be. It
number
could
one
be a belt
contender.
thing.
I was going to say
okay.
number one contender.
I don't
Okay.
know if contender would be enough of a draw. The title would be though.
Yeah, put the
That
title.
That'd be
in.
fun too.
Yeah.
I mean, either way, you can get to a world title match another way. There's
I mean,
more
you-
than
you
4
can
weeks
have,
after that.
You can have, let's say for fun, I'm just not seeing this happen. Let's say Jey Uso wins the title at the Chamber, and then Gunther is your instant opponent at Mania because he's pissed off he's lost. That's a great way to still get Gunther involved in that main event scene because he lost it, and give a fresh face, for that title, as a lot of people have been asking for lately with that championship. So I don't know, but I
A
do
lot
think
of
that
ways to carve this turkey.
But I don't
Mhm.
think the Rumble this Saturday focuses on the World Heavyweight, but it's all going to be about Cody's opponent, and then the
Oh,
Chamber
yeah.
in Toronto focuses on Gunther's
Focus on
opponent.
heavyweight. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Okay, I don't think we necessarily want to talk about this, but it's out there. It's gonna hang, so I'm just gonna quickly get it out of the way. Where will Goldberg have his retirement match, and how does that affect the
Oh,
world title
God.
and Gunther? All right.
Oh,
That's
goodness
for
gracious.
another day.
Yes.
But I'm
A
just
car show
saying.
in his hometown. That's
I'm
where he
just
can have his
saying
final
it's
match.
they've talked about it already. So
No.
and it's this
goodness.
year.
Saudi Arabia. I don't know.
Let's just-
Let
let's
him
just leave
injure
it.
somebody over there.
Thank
Yeah.
you very
Yeah,
much,
it's
John.
just-
That fixed it. That fixes it. Just leave it.
Everyone's
Oh,
favorite
man.
Royal Rumble, real quick.
Oh god.
the 2001 Royal Rumble.
Yeah, that's mine. Next.
06 for me.
Oh,
Ooh,
jeez.
good pick.
I don't think I don't think I personally have a favorite Rumble because they're all entertaining to me. But my favorite Rumble moment has got to be Vince McMahon snapping both of his quads.
Wow.
The
Sorry.
2005 Rumble.
Just brought it back. Wow. So
I'm
good.
gonna go the only one that I can think of at Hamilton's Cops Coliseum in
Ah,
There you go.
The
Yeah.
inaugural Rumble.
There you
the
go.
inaugural 1988, I believe.
That
Oh,
That's a
Yeah.
good question. There's been a lot of great Rumbles over the past, a lot of bad ones, but yeah, I think 2001.
yep, a
just-
bunch of bad ones.
just
Oh, yeah.
2001 is the WrestleMania 17 of Rumbles to me.
It was very good.
And it was for WrestleMania 17.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly. And easy answer for me, of course, is 2007 and 2008, which was also very amazing. Very good back-to-back Rumbles there too. But yeah, 2001 man had everything, even Drew Carey, and I didn't mind. So yeah,
Okay, there's actually I will say this: the one moment that puts over that eclipses any laughing that I have at Vince McMahon snapping his quads at the 2005 Rumble is Edge's return at the 2020 Rumble.
Oh,
Yeah.
19.
That,
okay, yeah.
like,
Oh,
Was it
best-
20 or no? It was 19, wasn't it? It was 19 or 20.
It was
Oh,
20.
it was 20.
It was
20.
20.
Yeah.
Oh, that was brilliant.
Oh,
Yeah.
that like
Special.
I cried, man.
Special.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I cried.
That was emotional.
So
as well.
it
That
took
was
me a
such an
second
emotional moment.
to realize he was in his ring gear. I remember that distinctly. I'm like, oh, hey, there's Edge. Like, oh, wait a minute, he's not in a flannel shirt. That's like
he's dressed to go.
He's
Yeah.
dressed to go. I was stupidly slow on that.
You know
but
what?
my God.
On that note, then, if we were doing roundtable questions, the number one surprise you want to see in either Rumble this Saturday, for me, I need to see Joe Hendry.
Oh,
I
yes.
think
Yeah,
it has to
yeah,
happen,
Hendry,
especially now as world champion. Make it happen, bring him out, get everybody clapping, and have a good time. I would pick Joe Hendry as my surprise, as the biggest surprise.
I'll pick Malachi.
Oh,
Malachi.
Oh, that's a
Oh,
good one.
okay.
Malachi would be good.
possible maybe.
Yep.
I mean, they've moved on from the House of Black name in AEW, so
Yep,
it could
that's
be
done.
that far. It could be that far in. So maybe
Yeah,
we don't know.
okay.
So, I mean,
I'm
it
gonna
could-
say
it could happen.
something that'll never happen because he's re-signed, but I'm still gonna put it out there. John Moxley.
Wow.
I'm gonna
It's
say
not
no,
gonna. I
but-
know it's
It is
not
not
gonna
gonna-
happen.
He's got a world title right
Not.
now. He's entrenched.
I don't care.
if I had to pick one more, before we go, and I think it's time because we all been dying for the longest time. Bring AJ Lee home.
That'd be
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah. AJ, yeah, that would be great to see.
That would be awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
good call, Jose.
Yeah, we don't even need to go round table. Jose, you got 2 of 2 for me, man.
Yeah.
There you go. Ringside Heat on News Talk Saga 960 AM. We've run out of time on our radio play airtime, but hey, you know what? We're gonna have more Royal Rumble talk this coming Saturday. As you can see on if you are watching on YouTube right now, we have our Royal Rumble watch along this coming Saturday, and we will be starting the show at about 5:45 p.m.
Yep.
And tune in on our YouTube, tune in on our X account, and we will be there talking, watching the Rumble on Netflix with all of you. That leaves me to thank Jose Tabuada, Colin Dodge, Chico Nugent, John Dawson, and all of you for listening here on Saga 960 AM, your favorite podcatcher, as well as on YouTube in video form. My name is Lex Tan. Follow the show at Ringside_Heat. And hey, you know what? See you for the Royal Rumble Saturday, Ringside Heat. We remember the things you probably forgot.